Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today I will discuss a very important topic. Basically, in our community, most of the people do as work as either as a Uber, taxi, or limousine driver, and most of you do not have a corporation. Means that you receive your gross income and deduct the expense in Schedule C. But there is a way that you can pay less self-employment tax on your Schedule C tax return. So little bit, I can explain it a little bit more. Suppose your net income is $80,000. Okay, just break it down. Suppose your gross sales is 150,000. Okay, one more. And your expense is $70,000. So what we get total 80,000. And if you report all your income in Schedule C, then you need to pay 15.3% self-employment tax on the total net income. So it is $12,240. But if you have a S corporation, in that case you can take this money in two way. Suppose like for the 80,000, you can take 30,000 as a salary, means that you will receive a W2. So in W2 there is a tax, your social security tax, Medicare expense, everything. But if I deduct 80,000 minus 30,000, so the rest $50,000 amount, you can take it as a distribution, means as a ordinary income. So if you receive $50,000 as a ordinary income, in that case there is no self-employment tax on the total $50,000. So this is the advantage of forming a S corporation, that you gonna save. How much you gonna save? Okay, let's 50,000 multiplied by 15.3%. So it's gonna save you $7,650 self-employment tax. And also there is a 20% QBI deduction available for eligible business. So if your taxi business is eligible, your total ordinary income will be reduced by 20% of the total amount. And another advantage is that if you have a S corporation, you will have a limited liability. Means that when you have a corporation, and if you had any accident or anything happens to your company, in that case the person cannot claim the reimbursement from your own asset. Means that your personal asset will remain saved, and your company is only liable to make compensation to the plaintiff. So this is the advantage of forming a corporation. But there are some condition of forming a corporation. Means that suppose you need to be resident of resident alien of United States of America. If you do not have a green card and passport, you still can be eligible for a resident alien. In that case you should have a valid work permit, work authorization in USA, and if you live here for more than 1 or 2 years, then you can easily be considered as a resident alien, and you can form a S corporation. So, and suppose you lose your residency, your work permit is voided, and you can no longer live legally in USA. Means that if you get deported from USA, then your S corporation will be voided. Or if you can still live in USA, whether your work permit is valid or not, but you are living in USA continuously, in that case you can still form a S corporation. Okay, these are the main advantage of forming S corporation. And if you form a LLC, means that a limited liability company. Limited liability company with a single member is a disregarded entity, means that it will not be regarded as a entity. Its total income and expense will be reflected on Schedule C. So in that case you will not have the advantage of self-employment tax deduction compared to LLC, limited liability company. So forming a corporation can only save you the self-employment tax for Uber or taxi or limousine driver. So it can give you a lot of benefit. And all of your income basically are reported in Schedule K1. So suppose your gross income $120,000 and gross profit, installment sales, other income. If I click on exit, return deduction, so you can take $50,000 as a salary, compensation, and many other things. But remember that in S corporation, charitable distribution and section 179 distribution, suppose you depreciate your company based on 179 depreciation. So section 179 depreciation is a separately stated item, so it will be directly reflected in your personal tax return in Schedule E. In Schedule E, so it will be reflected. So you can deduct that amount. The $30,000 expense, means suppose your car value is $40,000 and you want to deduct the maximum, though the maximum car deduction amount is right now if you claim bonus depreciation, then it is 20,400. So for section 179 it is 12,200 almost. So if you want to deduct more depreciation for section 179 for any type of asset, it will be reflected in your Schedule E, not in the not in the Schedule K1. So the depreciation expense, the section 179, and the charitable distribution or charitable contribution is not deducted to conclude your total ordinary income. So you can see that though we claim the depreciation expense, we can only claim the maker's depreciation expense, not the full depreciation expense. And if you have any item, suppose like non-taxable income or any other item that is not on interest, non-taxable, that can also be reported in your 1040 in another section. So okay, let's check show name. This is a shareholder basis worksheet, and oh, I just forgot to tell another thing. For the basis calculation, you can only deduct loss in your Schedule D or Schedule E or anywhere else based on the basis of the stock. So if you do not have a stock basis in S corporation, you cannot deduct more loss than your basis. So how can we calculate the basis? Suppose you invest in your company total $50,000. So your initial basis is $50,000, and after that your net income you got another $50,000. Then your basis becomes $100,000. Okay, and you withdraw $50,000 again as a distribution. Then your basis becomes again $50,000. So if your basis becomes zero, suppose you withdraw everything from your corporation and in the next year you have a loss, you cannot deduct that loss in your personal income tax return 1040. So you must have to remember that. Okay, and okay, in Schedule K, the S corporation total income and deduction item are shown. So this is the ordinary income. So income, its deduction, everything is shown. And yeah, you don't need to learn about this thing. I'm just showing you, just for your understanding purposes. So in your individual tax return, you need to input all your information in a Schedule K1. So this section 179 is a separately stated item, and tax exempt interest income or many other things. And let's check the Schedule E. Schedule E, if I click on Schedule E, so these are the items that are reflected in your Schedule E. Okay, so if I hit on exit, suppose in 1040, so rental, real estate royalties, partnership, S corporation, trust income are attached in Schedule E. So total is $35,000 income, and qualified tips and many other things. S corporation is little bit complicated to do for the tax return. Might be you need to pay your accountant little bit more than your personal individual tax return. And if you want to receive the W2, so you want to receive wage every month, then in that case I will suggest you the cheapest one, the tax software. So suppose like Square Payroll. If you use the Square Payroll service is little bit cheaper. So how can you receive a W2 from Square Payroll? So you just need to register with Square, and you need to link your bank account. Most probably your business bank account will be the most reliable. If you do not have a business bank account, you can link your personal bank account. In that case, it will be very, very difficult for you to handle how you can track of your income and expenses. So when Square Payroll will link up with your business bank account, it will deduct every bi-week your wages from your business bank account and remit it to your personal bank account. and the social security tax and the federal tax, it will withheld from your account, and it will remit quarterly or monthly based on the instruction. And for Square has a, I think Square has a monthly payment plan of $35, and for one single member it will cost you $6, so it will be $41 cost each month. We multiplied by 24, so it will be $492 for the payroll software. And suppose if your accountant charge you for your S corporation personal tax return and everything, maximum it can be 1,000, so it will be suppose like $1,500 for the expense. But if you can save self-employment tax on 60 or 60, suppose if you have self-employment, you need to pay self-employment tax on $60,000, so 15.3%, it will be $9,180. So if I minus from 1,500, so you can still have a profit of $7,680 by forming a S corporation and relieve from the self-employment tax. So it is not bad, at least saving $7,500 each month. And also with this payroll software, you can invest in 401k for your retirement plan. And you can act as both a employee and employer for your S corporation. So if any retirement amount is contributed to your retirement plan amount, so, and if it is a traditional 401k, then the amount can be deducted. Suppose you invest $8,000 each year for your retirement savings plan amount, and if you are an employee, then you can have, I think, maximum 23,000 plus 10,000 more. For the employee is 23, employer is 10,000, so it is total $33,000. But I don't suggest you invest that amount in your 401k. So if you suppose invest $10,000, you don't need to pay tax on that $10,000. Means that your taxable income will be reduced by $10,000. So if you are in a 22% bracket, 10,000 multiplied by 22%, then each year you have a tax saving of more $2,200. But keep in mind that if you withdraw money before maturity from your 401k, means if you withdraw money before 59.5 years, then there is a 10% penalty. But withdrawing money from traditional IRA is still taxable, whether you withdraw it after reaching the maturity date. So in USA, I think the 401k, the traditional IRA, does not have much benefit, because when you withdraw 401k or traditional IRA, you need to pay tax, but it will be a good savings, and you will receive also interest from your 401k savings account. I don't know about the interest rate, but it should be a good amount of interest rate. So I think that because if you leave your money in your bank account, you might spend it. So instead of spending money, you can save it in your retirement savings plan account. And if you have a Square payroll, then you can easily handle everything. You just need to go to any broker agency who can open a 401k or traditional IRA account, and you just link it up to your bank account, so that it can deduct payment each month or each quarter, whenever it is required, and make contribution to your 401k plan both as an employee and as an employer. So as a taxi driver, S corporation is only beneficial if you have income, gross sales of more than $100,000. I don't recommend that you have $50,000, $60,000 total sales in a year and you form a S corporation. In that case, you need to pay, suppose, like more on the accountant and on the payroll software. So $1,000 to $1,500 it will be expense. So if you have a lot of earnings, suppose if you are in a high tax bracket and you want to save a little bit more, then I suggest you form the S corporation. But remember that you need to be resident aligned. So non-resident aligned, so who are as a temporary resident or non-resident of USA cannot form the S corporation. For them it will be the C corporation, or they can form the limited liability company, and if you are a single member, you will be considered as a disregarded entity, or you can form a partnership. But for S corporation, you need to either have a green card or passport, or you need to have a valid work authorization in United States of America. Okay, I don't know how did you really understand me, but just keep in mind that if you are a self-employed person, if you have any types of business and you need to report your income in Schedule C in the tax return, in the tax software, in that case you need to pay the self-employment tax 15.3% of the total net earnings. You can only avoid it if you form a S corporation. Only S corporation can help you with that. Otherwise you cannot save on that money, and S corporation is only beneficial if you make a lot of money, more than $100,000 in a year, then it will help you. Okay, thank you everyone for watching my videos, and hope you understand. If you have any question, you can text me or message me. I will try to reply to you. Bye for today.